Welcome everyone to another Tracks on Sundays. I'm Trax the Max, and this is another Raid Shadow Legends video. We're on the Only Voids account again, and once Aboro here is done with her little solo, we have a lot to talk about today because it's been a really busy week. It's actually been a roller coaster of things I've been doing on the account, and we'll get right into that. As you can see, I'm almost out of gems. That's because I've been pushing. A lot of stuff happened since the last video. So what happened first? I'm gonna do it here so that I don't give away too much. But last week we pulled ourselves a Warcaster, which immediately set me off to go and find a clan boss team that can utilize him. Now, I did this on Monday and I did this on Tuesday. And after 2 days of actually trying to figure something out, nothing was clicking, nothing was working, none of my ideas were, adding up and getting a clan boss team in order. Now, the 2 days or 1.5 day, there was still a 2x voids left after I recorded the video. And I worked really hard to try and get as many voids as possible during that small frame that we have a 2x chance of getting an epic or a legendary, right? And I was able to pluck another 2 voids during that time. One from the missions, I believe. So we're right here right now. I've been working really hard on that too. I'll show you in a second. And the other thing was from Doom Tower, which also I've been able to push all the way up to the boss. Haven't been able to kill him yet, but I feel like with 2 weeks to go, maybe I can pull something in those 2 weeks that can really help us here, or just get better gear or something. But this boss right here gave us another Void Shard, and this one, well, actually, I'll talk about the other one. The other one, I got a Ashwalker, the rare from Night Revenants. He's okay. He has an AoE weaken. He hits decent hard for a rare, I've heard. I've never built one myself, but people are high on him, the people who built him, so we'll definitely 60 him at a certain point and put him to use. However, this one, I only had 20 minutes left on the clock when I finished off this boss. Actually, I had 40 minutes left when I realized that I could get another void here, so I went through the whole Doom Tower, had 20 minutes left when I got here, killed the boss, pulled my shard. Now, unfortunately, I did not record it, which I probably should have done, but, I mean, you're going to get to see it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'll do it in the index to make it a little spicy. There's actually still a red dot there, so it's not who you think it's going to be, I think. But we pulled ourselves a Eurogrim. Now that is an amazing pull for the account, okay? That is crazy good. We had no poisoners really, other than the small poisons from Ragemonger for Clan Boss. And, well, this guy brings a ton of poisons, brings a ton of healing, has a cleanse on a 3-turn cooldown, which can easily cleanse off the stun as long as he's not the stun target, obviously. And he also has a speed lead, 20% in all battles. Also really huge at this stage of an account. Why is that? Well, basically, this base speed you see here, this 102 speed, you get 20% of that base speed on top of your speed total. So that's basically like 20 speed. On average, on an average champion, that's around 20 speed. Could be 19, could be 21, but around 20 is usually what that is. That's huge because that's on 5 champions. That's on 5 champions. You need less glyphs. You need less speed. You just need less speed in general. So having that option, especially for trying to get the high speeds of a unkillable clan boss team, is fantastic. So this guy was just amazing. Not only that, but this guy can actually solo Dragon 20, Ice Golem 20, Potion Keeps. He can solo a whole lot of stuff, right? Now I've only been using him to actually solo Nightmare Campaign 6/6 to get some speed boots, but to get some extra speed on the account because I didn't really have that much going for me. But that's because his build isn't really great yet. Now, I got a comment on my previous video of a player who apparently enjoys building clan boss teams and said, "Hey, Trex, I have this team for you if you want. It runs on Nightmare and it runs on Brutal." So I went and plugged it all in into the calculator at Deadwood Jedi, and yeah, this team that the player gave me definitely works. So I gotta say, thank you so much, dude. You saved a lot of time and effort that, you know, I don't know how you figured this out, but that's some big brain stuff up there. I mean, it's just crazy. And this community is so awesome. Like, when I read that, it was Wednesday, by the way. When I read that on Wednesday, I didn't even care about this new fusion if it was going to be void or whatever. Because before that, I was kind of like waiting to see, is this going to be a void or not? And I was kind of hoping it was not going to be a void so that I didn't have to pay attention to it, right? And I still had like 500 gems on the account, or 600, five. No, I have to lie. I don't know, 600 gems. I was kind of saving them. But once I heard that that was not the issue, it was a force champion, this new fusion that's coming up, I was like, okay, let's go. We're going ham. We need to build these champions out, right? So I got my Eurogrim to 60, and I got my Warcaster, also masteries on him, and 6-starred him as well. So what is this team that this user has given us? Well, so this team is basically, or was originally, was Warcaster, Khafru, Renegade, and 2 DPS. And I have the speeds here in front of me. The Warcaster needed to be 306 speed, the Renegade 243 with the A3 delayed 1 turn, the Khafru needed to be 144, A3 delayed 1 turn, DPS 205, DPS 2, 150 speed. Now, because I pulled myself a Eurogrim, I'm actually able to build this now. Because the 306 I'm not able to achieve yet on my account. I would have to literally work, and farm probably for another week or two, maybe. Depends on how lucky you are on your speed rolls and stuff. But because I pulled Eurogrim, I now have a speed lead, and I have poisons to go along an unkillable team that's going to stay alive for 50 turns. So that was huge. That was a huge pull. And yeah, I'm super excited that we actually pulled that. That's amazing. So good, but also so grateful for this person to find this tune, because I would have never guessed that I needed like these kind of speeds. What's going on here? We have our Warcaster going really fast, more or less going 2-to-1 ratio, yeah? But you also have the Khafru going at a 1-1 ratio, and this is pretty important. Why is Khafru only going at a 1-1 while his skill that lets the clan boss target him is on a 4-3 normally, right? Because it has a 4-turn cooldown. Well, Renegade with her ability obviously reduces that to 2 turns. Wait, 2 turns, Tracks. That's not correct. We want this on a 3-turn then, right? Wrong, because we don't have a cleanse in the team, which means the turn that Khafru gets stunned, he doesn't get his cooldown back. So having a 2-turn cooldown on his ability, then getting stunned, basically means it's on a 3-turn cooldown. So it's perfect. This does mean that Khafru actually doesn't do anything except for A1 during 1 turn and A3 during the other turn. So that means that he is losing quite some damage, the turn that he just remained stunned. So that means like 16 turns of War Master possibility procs and just damage we're losing out. Depends on how much damage you build on him, which now, because we are able to build him very slow, we will actually try and get as much damage on him as possible. Even if he's only hitting once a turn, we're gonna have to try and milk him as much as we can, right? Yeah, and then the Renegade is basically going 5 times for every 3 times that the clan boss is going, which makes sense because the cooldown is on a 5-turn cooldown, right? So this composition is pretty genius if you ask me. It's it's simple when you look at it, but it's just figuring out this exact composition and like knowing that your Kafru has to go this slow, and your second DPS has to go this slow. Figuring all that stuff out is something that I was not capable of. I could not find that. I was working with way higher speeds and just trying to find something, and I just could not find it. So the user Kave Fall 5938, or however I'm supposed to pronounce that, I'm not completely sure, but kudos to you, man. I really appreciate it. That's so awesome of you to take your time out of your day to actually figure that out for me. Yeah, amazing. And I'm on it already, okay? So I'm building this clan boss team. I already plucked off his weapon, as you can see here, because that was a crazy speed. I had 21 speed on it right here, as you can see. So I really need that for my Warcaster. So because I have a speed lead, I only need 285 speed instead of the 306, which is a huge chunk. That actually allows me to almost keep my Renegade the way she was. I only had to give her 6-star speed boots instead of 5-star, and now she actually has the speed that she needs. So I can just keep her the way she is, and she'll still run in my Fire Knight team, all that good stuff. I did have to book her, of course. Her A3 needs to be booked, so we went along and did that. What else? Yeah, so far that's basically it. Now, the downside to what I'm doing with this right now is that we need to build this guy with only 185 speed. So temporarily, he's going to be a little less useful than I want him to be in dungeons. Like, I'm not going to be able to make solo builds and stuff with him right now. However, as the account progresses and we get more speed gear and just more champions and gear in general, and just progress the account, we'll be able to take him out of the team, hopefully, and utilize him for more of those things, right? Like the solo dungeons is for things like fusions and just in general farming, gear and food and silver. It's just awesome to have a solo champion. I do this on my main account too, so just really, really good. And yeah, I'm looking forward to when that happens. But for now, getting like a 2-key nightmare or something, that's way more important, right? Like getting 2-key nightmare, 1-key brutal, maybe even some days getting a hard chest, because as you could see here, we still appreciate ourselves a rare book for sure. We don't have any almost. So yeah, we'll take all the tomes we can get, right? Anything we can get our hands on. Now I have a couple of shards piled up again this week that I got from Nightmare, so that's pretty awesome. However, before I pull those, I want to talk about some options I'm thinking about for a potential clan boss team now, because I tried really hard to get it finished by today, but I mean, it's Saturday today, and the team that was presented to me, basically I found out about on Wednesday night, Thursday morning, right? So I've been working my butt off to try and get silver, trying to level these guys up, get their masteries, all that stuff. But my silver has been problematic. My forge is as good as empty, basically, because I've just been trying to get what I've been doing is like going to this and just emptying this out and getting all the silver I can from these things, right? But yeah, pretty much at rock bottom at the moment. As you can see, my gems are all gone almost. My energy is, I got some energy now, but I mean, um, the good thing is I will get 300 gems back from this. And once I get my 900 Great Hall or medals or whatever that is, I will also be able to start progressing here again. So here we can get some more gems and get some more voids and, you know, good stuff going on here for sure. But I wanted to talk about like potential DPSs. Now, I don't know how well this is going to work, but there's one candidate that I've been wanting to try out almost from the moment that I started playing this game, which was in 2021, right? The first time I saw this champion, I thought she looked pretty cool. And I've always had her somewhere in the back of my mind, like, one day I'm going to try this champion. One day she's going to be in my Clan Boss team, and it's going to be amazing. Now, that amazing is biased. I know that, because I don't know if she's going to be amazing or not. Probably not. Otherwise, someone probably already would have figured this out, I assume. But who am I talking about? It's someone you probably are not thinking of at all. It's someone who we dismiss immediately. And it's someone we're all able to fuse infinitely. It's Arbalester. Now, I see you guys scratching your head and thinking that I'm drunk or something, but Arbalester has a pretty simple kit, right? Has a A1 that has a chance, 75% chance of transferring a random debuff to the target. I don't care about that. This is a cooldown skill, basically like a warlord, but then just a single target, but I don't care about that either. I care about this one right here. Now, Soul Break might possibly be the hardest hitting ability a rare has in the entire game. I'm not completely sure about that, but I do know what the multipliers are on this, or more or less know what the multipliers are in this. And it goes as follows. As far as I can remember, because Hell Hades' website has been down for quite a while, but I remember looking this up and just being like mind blown about this. Okay, so if my knowledge is still correct and this still works the way I remember, this is a 2 times multiplier. However, gets +1 for each debuff on the target. So if you have 10 debuffs on the target, this has a 12 multiplier. 12. I don't know if that, rings a bell for you or not, but like usually champions have like 4, 5, maybe 6. I don't know if there's a lot of 6s out there, but 12 is bonkers. That's insane. That's just crazy multipliers, okay? And her attack for a rare is actually not even that bad. Like 1400 is actually kind of okay. So I don't know, man. I think now might be the time to shine for her. And why is that? Well, the issue with this move has always basically been it's on a 5-turn cooldown. That's way too long. We can't do anything with this. And I remember in the past I was trying things like reflex sets and trying to calculate how many times that would usually proc in a clan boss run, and it always came down to the same damn thing, which was this cooldown is just way too long. We can't do anything with this because, she's just not going to be able to use this skill enough. However, if you have a renegade on your side, that means that this is basically on a 3-turn cooldown, and that starts to get interesting, right? A 3-turn cooldown means you're doing this once per cycle That means you're doing this at least 16 times during a clan boss run. And that way you can start, making some calculations. That means, for instance, if she would do like 500,000 per hit, which I am not assuming that we're going to pull off, don't get me wrong. I don't think that's going to be possible for us. But if she would be able to do that, that's like straight up 6 million damage just for doing her A3. That's without her A1, her A2, possibly some other damage from Phantom Touch and stuff like that, right? That's not even counting all that stuff. So for us, that might actually be a very, very good thing. And I just kind of want to try it. Even if it's not going to work, at least we tried it then. But the big issue with this whole thing is if I use Eurogrim and Arbalester, I have no weaken and I have no defense down. And I think that might be a huge issue, right? I'm assuming that is going to be a huge issue. But on the other hand, it really depends how much damage that this can do, right? Because if this can pull off like 300,000 or 400,000 per A3, we're still going to be doing quite some damage, I would assume. And the thing is also, like, I don't have a weaken or a defense down if I would bring Arbalester. But if I bring Eurogrim, this thing also has a 2-turn cooldown, right? With Renegade on the team. So I would almost have to turn this off to bring Eurogrim into the team, which I don't really want to do because this is a really good move, right? I would much rather have him be doing A1s and A3s all day, right? Because otherwise, what I basically have to do is turn both of these off and only use this A1, but then we're not really getting a lot of damage out of Eurogrim. So my thoughts were there's probably going to be poison overload the whole time anyway, because yeah, he's just constantly putting poisons up. He also has the mastery that has a chance to extend them. So how often is weaken and defense down actually going to stay on? How often is that going to stick? Probably not the whole time. So maybe it's not even that dumb of an idea to bring her, just give her like Helm Smasher, right? Put her in Savage or Savage and Cruel, for instance, so that she automatically ignores 30% of the defense anyway. And then just go to town, right? Just see what happens. I don't know. Maybe we can find some really crazy damage with her, right? Maybe we can even go down this line and we can possibly get Cycle of Magic and sometimes get the extra big smack on the clown boss and stuff like that. But yeah, that's for now, that's my plan, okay? May not be the best plan, I don't know, but we're kind of limited on our options, right? The other thing I could do is I could also just bring Dagger along, who has a big boy defense down, right? Also has attack down. We don't care about that, obviously, if we're unkillable. But does also have the double hitter here. The problem with that is if I bring her, I need to make her so slow that she's not going to be usable in dungeons. And, that was like, nah, we're not doing that. I don't want to break my Fire Knight team and stuff like that just to get a defense down. The other thing I thought about was perhaps instead bring someone like Ashwalker. Could also bring Ashwalker plus Eviscerator. She has poisons on the A1 and a small defense down on the A2. Also has this nice passive where if the clown boss puts up a buff, she'll automatically attack the clown boss with her A1. So gets an extra chance of War Master procs and stuff like that. Could be cool. But yeah, for now, I think I just really want to try this together with the Arbalester. The only thing that I'm scared of, really, is that he might put up too many of these continuous heals and we might miss our block damage. I don't know if that's really ever gonna happen. I might be overthinking that a little bit, but that's like the only issue I could, see for now. One of the things that I'll probably be doing if I don't have a defense down is I will change this blessing. Actually, I'm gonna do that right now as we speak. Yeah, and we're gonna get this on him, the cruelty, since we're not gonna have that anymore, and at least we can get the defense down a little bit. Even if it's just 5%, I mean, every little bit is gonna help here, right? So, I'm gonna do that right now. Yep. And I think that's about it for the Clown Boss team, but this is gonna be amazing, man, because right now we're actually doing a 3-key on Clown Boss. Well, I was doing a 3-key, but I had to rebuild Kafru or yoink his piece off of him. So my last key was only 12.8. So I hope I'll get a 3-key today as well. But yeah, it is what it is. Might be that I'll have to do it 4-key a couple of days until I actually get the Clown Boss team running. But yeah, we are really close, man. Really, really close. We basically just need to get the masteries on our Arbalester, get her into Savage, and yeah, we're cooking. So I hope next week to be finished with this team, show it off, and yeah, hopefully I can give you guys some amazing results, right? But that all said, we do have a couple of shards, and we're gonna pull because I need chickens basically right now. We have so little resources. I can't build enough chickens with these gems and this energy to get Arbalester to 60 anyway. So I need to pull some of these just to get some chickens. I need to pull some of these just to get a chance of getting a Demitha, which I guess if we got a Demitha, we would possibly have a slower team and easier to build team. I don't know, but I'm sure by next week I would find out if that is the case. Yeah, we can put that guy in. I don't know if we really want. Well, I guess he's really good for Hydra, right? So this is going to be our Void Shard progressive chance. Anyway, let's pop some Ancients first, just to get that out of the way. Hopefully some 4-stars. There you go. Only one, unfortunately. That was 3,000 points, however. That's really good. Let's see what kind of silver we have. We can do another 10 pop. Sure. Try to get as many chickens as possible here. Preferably purples. I mean, legendaries is good too, but only blues. Tough luck. All right, but this is the big guy, right? This is where we really want to pull some good stuff to use. This could also determine what my DPS is. If I get something in here that's going to be better, I'll just use that then, I guess. So, yeah, let's pop them and see what happens. Blue, all right, a gear grinder. That it's not going to help our Clown Boss team, but it damn sure will help the Oregon Tribe team. He's a really good healer and support. Reviver. Solid champion. Used him in my first Faction Wars clear at level 50, and he did the job perfectly fine. Revives a dead ally with 50% HP and 50% turn meter on a 5-turn cooldown. Heals all allies and places a continuous hit heal on this champion if this attack is critical. Simple kit, but very effective. Not much more to say about that. Do I want to? Do I want to pull all three here? Not sure, man. I think I do. I think I do. 2x just passed us. There's no fusion in the future for us yet. Yeah, let's just go for it, man. Let's just go for it. Aggressive chance, the Mytha. I mean, I probably won't pull a epic because I pulled the Eurogram last, you know. Veteran is really, really good. I wish I had him before I had this unkillable team, obviously, but this guy's going to be huge for this particular skill on the Doom Tower boss that we're stuck on right now, right? That's Cursed City tracks. Why you always do that. This guy right here. That might actually be the key for that. So that was not a clan boss team pull for us right now, but that is a huge pull for this team right here. Question is, am I going to be able to level them up within the 2 weeks? I mean, I should be able to, right? But it depends on what our other pools are, of course. Okay, one more chance, one more shot at pulling a legendary or a epic. Only like what, 6% or something? 8%. 8%. Okay. Fingers crossed, man. It's blue. And it's another Rage Monger. Alright, well, at least that's a useful champion we have found out by now. I don't know if I'm really gonna build him. Like, maybe take him to 50 for Faction Wars or something, but we tried. We tried to get the Demetha, but guess we're still stuck on Nightmare for now. Let's see how we did here. Okay, we did pick up some points here, right? Let's see if there's anything down here that we could use. Here's 100 points too, but that's pretty hard to get to, right? Looks like it. We probably need to do this. Wait, do I need to do that? Maybe I should hold off here and wait and see if I can actually do the training first. Yeah, I think I'll just hold for now. I needed 50 for sure. Like, without the 50, I'm never going to make it. But now I need to know if I can do the training, right? Where is it? Yeah, here. It's gonna be close, man, if I'm gonna be able to pull that off. But if I do, we get an extra void shard, which is pretty nice. But yeah, a couple of Faction Wars champions, and then this guy might help us with the Doom Tower. So I guess that means Arbalester sticks in the team for now. Let me hear your thoughts on that. Is that like crazy or not? Like, do you think that's ever gonna work because there's like no defense down and no vegan on the team? I don't know. I don't know how much that is gonna affect the damage. Again, if she just like smacks so hard that it doesn't matter, you know, could still be worth it. I don't know. But hopefully we'll find that out next week. Thank you so much for joining me again this week, guys. And thank you for being such an awesome community, dude. Like, when I read that on Wednesday, I was just so euphorical. I'm not going to say I was going to cry or anything, but I was like, man, feels good to be in this community, you know? Like, you guys are just top notch. So thank you so much for being here. And yeah, I hope you guys have a nice week, and catch you guys next week. Peace.